Hi guys, Wolfgang here, and you're listening to Hiding at Home. This is another short episode of Anyway after, again, short break, which I had, I think, a bit more than a week long. First of all, I want to a bit explain what have happened. So, last week, me and my Bidber team, we traveled to Vlissingen, which is in Zeeland, and yes, that's why New Zealand called New Zealand, because there is a province in the Netherlands called Zeeland. Just a random fact, so you know more about this. And we traveled there actually together with the whole team. So we fly out all the people from the US, Canada, China. It was really awesome weekend. But you know, as usually happens during awesome weekends, you really tired when you need to go straight to the work after for the whole normal 5-day work week. Unfortunately, that happened to me, so we didn't really have time to chill. Actually, I had a really great opportunity to make a podcast with a friend of mine from China, ANYWAY9, who you probably have seen in the previous season of season 2 of Hiding at Home podcast, when I did the podcast with members of Heroic team. But unfortunately, I think everybody was so tired that I didn't find any energy in myself to do any recordings. So that's why I'm doing it already now, during the weekend. And let's talk about some stuff. Guys, I finished Red Dead Redemption 2. And I want to say, this is definitely one of the best games of 2018. You probably would wonder, why are you saying this? You probably have played all the games of 2018, and I'll answer you, not. But Red Dead Redemption 2 is definitely a great game. Why would you try a lot of games throughout which were released in 1 year if you can just buy one which is damn good, which is really good? And Red Dead Redemption was one of those. I haven't played the first part, but I heard a lot of good reviews about it and opinions, and people were kind of really pumped up and hyped when the second part was released. So I was like, well, why don't give it a try, and also go with the flow and try this game out. I probably saw that already after I saw that there was a small discount on the disc version of the game, because before I was like, okay, Fallout 76 is going to be out. I never played Fallout as well. I'll probably should just try Fallout 4 because it's now gonna be way cheaper. Yeah, I know, I'm always looking for a bargain, not like a real gamer. But anyway, so I started Fallout 4 and I was just playing, and I don't know, this game didn't really feel like something that was interesting for me, and I didn't really, I don't know, I wasn't emotionally invested in the game. Like, there is some kind of a plot that you're searching for your baby son, who was kidnapped. But, I don't know, at some point of time, a lot of stuff have happened that you're already forgetting about your main goal. There are too many side quests, and there are too many opportunities to just sidebar and some stuff which doesn't really relate to what you're doing anymore. And that's really good from one point of view, and that's probably not that good. That's why I'm not a big fan of Skyrim and Oblivion, because the plot is so ambiguous and vague that I couldn't really know what to do with myself in those kind of games. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of open world games, because GTA really feels like arcade in this sort of sense, and games like GTA, like Saints Row or Watch Dogs, which I also just finished, Watch Dogs 2. My respect, Ubisoft, you learned on your mistakes with Watch Dogs 1. So like, there are kind of RPG arcade games where you can either follow the plot or you can just play for fun, and plot is not bad, and you can still get a lot of fun stuff out of it. But Fallout, I don't know, how would you get fun from playing this game just from what's happening? Like, the world is kind of boring and dark. I'm not a big fan of this, and you can't really do a lot of stuff, and so you kind of become a super soldier in like Iron Man-y like suit, which is kind of interesting. But when you've been running around and you're losing the energy and need to recharge, and then somewhere in the swamp you're just losing your costume, and it's just like this game, the big disappointment. So I just decided to do the playground part of it, which is just building the community, which is like Sims. So you wouldn't play Sims for too much time. You also don't really have much control of those characters, so it can get boring at some point of time. Maybe I should give another try for this game, and I wasn't really properly invested, because at that point of time I found out that Red Dead Redemption 2 wasn't already 80 euros. It was already 50. Yes, it still sounds like an enormous amount of money for the video game, but I thought like, hey, this is the newest release and it's already has such a big discount. So why not give it a shot and try it out? So for the person who never played the first part, GTA in Wild West didn't sound as cool as for many people it sounds. Because, you know, I'm more of a good guy, sort of saying. Like, of course, I like doing some random stuff, like playing GTA, but it doesn't feel that any bad when you're doing this. But when I was playing Red Dead Redemption, like I was playing Arthur Morgan, and I tried to do everything. I tried to do all the good things, and I don't know. I had the goal that I want to reach the highest level of respect. I did it. That was cool. Even though I did a bunch of stupid things as well. But yeah, it was a fun game. All the side quests also make sense, besides the one when you need to fish, and I like, damn, I needed to fish for like 15 minutes straight. I hate fishing in real life, but fishing in video game, it's even more boring. The game was really well thought. The plot of it was really good, and my good deeds were really going with the whole narrative around the main character, because he was kind of dying of his disease. I think he had tuberculosis, and he was dying, and he trying to do as many good things as possible before he finally passed out. And you know, I like that was really fun thing to do, like to see how this guy trying to get some sort of a redemption again. Like he was doing all the good deeds, and that was really fun to do, and I don't know, I really felt great. And anyway, I don't really want to spoil anything, but the game itself, it has a lot of interesting small side missions which were really cool. I'm not a big fan of like bounty hunting, but there was also great possibility for it, and I think one of the friends of mine who played the first part was a big fan of bounty hunting. And yeah, I really liked how it ended, that unfortunately Arthur Morgan died without his loved one, who she kind of not betrayed him. Well, yeah, let's call him that she betrayed him. It was a bit of a disappointment, but probably the most boring part, like, there is this epilogue when I needed to play for John Marston, who's gonna be the main character in first part of Red Dead Redemption. I was like, Jesus Christ, I need to build his farmhouse now, and I need to do all these things, I need to clean up after horses. Really? I'm here for shooting the hell out of all the bandits in the Wild West. What's going on here? Still, at the end of the day, it was a bunch of quite fun missions, and the final ending when you kind of revenging for Arthur, when you also reuniting with all your previous members of the gang, which was kind of cool and interesting. I think this game in the end teaches you a lot of good stuff, and probably if you're being an outlaw and a bad person, there is always a way for you to just change and become a better one, better yourself. And when you're trying to make this change, you also get being rewarded with a number of different stuff. And I think that's a really great narrative that people trying to, like, what the game developers decided to put into the game. Because I think, like, some of the people were saying, like, oh, this respect rating doesn't matter, it doesn't give you anything. If I am really bad, why people not just running away from me and all this stuff? But I don't think that's how it works. But the rewards for being a good guy was really on the positive side, and like you can get a lot of, like, it's kind of small things, but still it's really great. You can get to know more people, and you can do way better things, and you feel better because of you doing them during the game. You still kill a lot of people, and you're still doing not really good things, but I think it's kind of you kind of following some kind of a code where you don't do these bad things against just random civilians who really don't deserve any bad deeds that you probably didn't. Even though robbing the bank was really cool, and probably some of the civilians still got some damage, material damage because of this, but robbing banks always fun. Anyway, guys, let me know what do you think about those games. Like maybe Fallout, you also played this one and you had some different experience, or maybe you also you fancied the Red Dead Redemption 2 and you probably think that's a really good one. And I hope to hear more from you in the comment section. Hit a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.